What's going on, guys? Alex here and welcome to Monster Motors. So today is a bit different. I'm starting off in the house, but don't worry, it's all car stuff. So I've had a delivery yesterday from a company called AWE Tuning, and they do like various parts for cars, exhaust, etc, etc. But what caught my interest was this particular package here, which is a remote for the valves for my car. So if some of you have seen my previous videos on my new exhaust, the one that I had built and all that, you would know that my valves in the exhaust have never actually worked, and so they've currently been coded open at all times, which sounds great, but on long motorway journeys it does get a little bit drony, as I've driven down to Italy the other week and it was 15 hours constant driving, and yeah, it does get on your nerves a little bit. So basically, if we open up the package, we are greeted by this. So we've got two remotes, one little box here, and surprisingly a slot for a lollipop. So these are the remotes, pretty standard remotes. It's got an on button, an off button. It's even got a little sort of clippy thing on the back, so I can actually sort of screw that bit into the dash and then sort of clip that onto it, so it's always there ready to access. But I don't think I'm going to be doing that, as I don't particularly fancy drilling holes into a dash. So we've got a Charms Blow Pop Cherry flavoured lollipop. Okay, that's fine by me. And then here we have the sort of control box, I presume, and the loom. So basically with this, what I'm going to be doing, and a blanking plate. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go under the car, unplug the valve modules and plug this into its place. So plug one end into the valve and the other into well, the original valve cable into this. Then on the other side I do the same. I plug this into the valve and then put this little blanking plate into the wire that already came out. And then basically tidy this all up underneath inside the bumper, and then hopefully with this I will then be able to open and close the valves, because with this system it sort of overrides the car's instructions on opening and closing the valves, but mine have been coded open at all times now anyway, so they don't work. So I'm hoping with this I should finally be able to have working Valvetronic exhaust system, which would be amazing. The only thing I can think of that it might not work is because I've had them coded open at all times. And basically what you do is you go with your Vagcom, you go into a computer system and you tell the car that there are no valves installed. So that makes them stay open at all times, they don't move or anything. So the only thing I can think of is if the car's saying that, maybe there's no sort of power running to the valves, in which case I'll have to try and find my friend and get him to come around with his Vagcom system, reinstall the valves, and then hopefully this should work. But let's get to it. The weather seems to be pretty good, and yeah, so I'm gonna get under the car. I've got all the instructions on my phone, and let's just see how we go. Hopefully it works. Right, so first things first, tools needed. Some cable ties to tidy up the cabling, valve remotes, pair of scissors for cutting them up, your loom, your blanking plate, and most importantly the lollipop. So let's get under the car and try and get started. Right, so having lowered the car hasn't really helped me with this situation, but basically here you can see the original valve system. This bit here is what we're going to be unplugging, and same again on the passenger side, and then replacing it all with the new loom. Oh, that's gone a bit burnt, that sticker, but oh well. But yeah, so I'm going to be unplugging that, putting the new one in, and then finding somewhere to tuck all the new wiring. Right, one done. Try and find this one. Alright, so passenger one, we have to come at it from a slightly different angle, but basically there's a little clip you push in and it pulls off. So I think that's this bit all done and sorted. Let's mock up the new cabling and hopefully plug it in and see if it actually works. Right, so having opened up this box, you can see that this is the passenger side, so that's the bit that plugs into the old system. That goes, this bit here goes into the valve, and then over here we've got loads of cable, and then the replacement one that connects into the valve for that, and then the blanking plate over there. So with some luck, this should, if we make sure it's the right way up first, that is always good. But so this bit should go into here. It's tricky to do it one-handed, but alright. There we go. That is clipped into there. And we get the, where has it gone? The standard harness, and we connect that one into the new loom. Make sure that's the right way around. And push it in. Okay, and that's done. So basically, hopefully you can see the new box is now connected to the valve system and to the old loom, so that will find somewhere to tuck it away. Now we need to run this cable all the way down through to the other side. Alright, so hopefully you can see more or less what I've done. Basically the wire starts there. I've managed to tuck it behind this sort of bit of heat shield and follow it all the way around back here. I just need to tidy it up a little bit, but then into the valve system, and I've already put the valve blanking cap on this one, and then this this original loom we tuck away somewhere with a cable tie, so probably up there somewhere, out here out the way. And then we tidy up all of this, so I'll probably run this back through a bit, and then but firstly we are going to test that it works. So what I'm going to do is just put the electrics on of the car, and then I'm going to play with the on and off of the remote, and hopefully if it all works we will be able to hear a very faint sort of motor sound of the valves opening and closing, which means that it is indeed working. So let's try that out. So electrics only. Let's just make sure that there is no errors or anything. Just turn down the music just in case. No. No, the only thing that's coming up is that the door is open, so that's a good sign. And let's go around to this side and let's have a look. Oh, that is the sound of the valves actually working. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to tidy up all the wiring and turn the car on and have a go, and hopefully we've now got a working valved exhaust system. Right, so cable tidying is done. What I've done is, so I've cable tied the original one to itself, so that way it's out of the way. Then over here what I've done is I've pulled the cable as far back as I could. Let's see if I can find it, and sort of cable tied it in place there, so it's out of the way of the exhaust tips and the exhaust pipes, etc., and it's all behind the heat shield. Then over this side is where it got a little bit cramped, but so I pulled it through as much as I could behind the heat shield. Then up here I've just sort of like cable tied it all to itself to the original housing as well, just so that way it sort of stays out the way of any hot parts and whatnot. So now we're finally ready to test if the valves make a difference or not. Right, so on, ooh, off. You can definitely hear a difference. Right, so valves off. Let's give it a couple of revs. Now on, you can just hear it's a deeper tone. That's so good. That's amazing. We'll take it out for a drive and see what the differences are. Alright, so there we have it. I mean, this thing has made me so happy, it's unreal. Yeah, I've finally got a Valvetronic exhaust that's working and it sounds awesome. It's perfect, exactly how I want it. Nice and sort of like quiet in the cabin on like long journeys and motorway speeds and all that, which is perfect. And then as soon as I flick on, I start to get all the DSG loud farts and all that, and it just sounds so much better. I mean, I'm so glad I found this. I'll leave a link below if any of you have an S3 or a Golf R or a similar car. I think they do it for quite a few different models, but if you go have a look on their website and just double check first. But yeah, it's amazing. A mate of mine sent me it and I'm so glad he did, because he's got it on his car, but he's still got the stock exhaust with the center resonator removed, so the difference isn't too much. But yeah, I mean, this thing is awesome. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for plenty more videos. I'm back from all my holidays and whatnot now, so I'll be in the country. I can finally get started on my mega video for this, and then I've got a few plans. I want to try and do at least once or maybe twice a month, go visit either a subscriber or someone who watches the videos, or anyone that has a modified car. Like, I'm not talking about just like an exhaust and an air filter. I'm on about like really tuned cars, and we'll go in depth into what they've done, the power and all that sort of stuff. So what I've done with the Skyline, but I want to go more in depth, more sort of user interaction and all that sort of good stuff. So if you do have a modified car and you're in the Kent area or nearby, do comment or send me a message and we'll meet up and we'll do a video on your car. So yeah, cheers guys.